Okay, so you'll see this countdown here. Okay, there, we're live. Hi, everybody. This is Mary Ellen. I am here at Moon Rise Cottage with some travelers, 3 soul travelers that came to Moon Rise Cottage. Actually, 4 altogether in the last couple of weeks. This place has been really active. It's been incredibly beautiful and wonderful. And as always, I ask folks to just help me share the experience and what it is to come here in a general sense for what I call a shamanic retreat, which for me, my purpose is always to be a witness and be a guide for people to be able to listen to the voice of their own soul. And we go through a lot of different processes along the way. So I'm going to share some pictures, and then, do I have permission to say your names? Okay, yes. So I'm here with Ingrid and Natalie and Francois, who's been with us for the last 3 days, 4 days, however long it's been, 4 days, something like that.
We arrived on Sunday night.
Yeah. And so Ingrid and Natalie are here incarnated, and Francois is on the other side, and it's been wonderful. I just want to thank you. Oh, he's saying, you didn't put a chair for me. I'm sorry.
Now he also said
he keeps telling us, put a chair for me.
This is the other side.
And then, yes, and he told us, you're wrong, because this, meaning this incarnated world we live in, this is the other side. So we've been having fun with him. So I'm going to flip through the pictures, and we'll share a little bit. And we're going to allow ourselves to ramble, I'm sure, a little, but we're going to try to stay on point. So I think I understand the picture that you're seeing is there because I understand that it is a journey just to come to the place in your life when you make a decision to come to a place like this. Any place that exists where you go to have a very intensive shamanic experience of yourself. I think that it's amazing soul intention, and it's really brave because you're literally going into the void. You don't know what's about to happen. So I don't know if either of you have anything you want to say about that or not.
Or pointing at each other.
It's okay.
Who speaks first?
Just jump in.
Yeah, it's... I don't know if it's, I would call it scary, but certainly very mysterious. And because in our life, we're used to something, and then when we come here, it's not extraterrestrial, but we definitely go somewhere else.
Mm. Ingrid, did you?
I came here for the peace, the quiet, the reflection. And it was here just as I had hoped.
Okay. So as it turns out, actually, we did meet each other a little ways away and had to drive down a road that actually was that road. We sort of traveled along together through the trees in a little car caravan, and I was just feeling the mystery and the beauty of the moment. The 3 of us driving along these country roads, each in our own vehicle. On our way to Moon Rise Cottage, and then all of a sudden had to step on the brakes, and a martin,
Pine martin.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Stood right up on the side of the road, looked at us. I stepped on the brakes. It ran across the road, and I think that's when our journey kind of began.
Mm.
It was fascinating, wasn't it?
Mm. Yeah.
So, there you are. You drive up the driveway. There's Moon Rise Cottage. You can sort of see it because now the trees have been cut, and you come around the corner. And it was about that time. I think it was 6:30, 7 o'clock before we got here. The sun was going down. And it was just after the full moon. There was another person who was here on the full moon. I'm going to have some more pictures that I'll share on Facebook and hopefully on YouTube about that journey because it was astounding. And amazing things happened in the sky over that full moon journey. And I think the energy sort of just continues. So for us, we spent the first night hanging out. Shared a bottle of wine, a lot of conversation, settling into the energy, settling into the notion of being together in this intensely intimate space. And so I think there's a little bit of energetic amalgamation that goes on. And we sat outside, and mosquitoes didn't bother us. It was really wonderful. Anything you folks want to say, or should I keep going?
Keep going.
Keep going. So it just sort of the images of that first night. It was really beautiful. And went to bed. We slept hard, didn't we? We slept in late, all of us. We slept
Didn't
really
wake
hard.
up at all.
Yeah. So my theory is always literally go with the flow. I don't care when we get up. Maybe we'll stay up all night. In fact, the person that was here just prior to you, we stayed up all night. The first night she was here, literally. And all of a sudden we realized, wait, the birds are singing. Well, there's light in the sky. Huh, it must be morning.
I stayed up all night with that moon too.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was great. It was
you
strong.
know, then you right, and then suddenly it's daytime again. Then we had a rainstorm one day.
Did you take that picture?
I took that
yeah,
picture.
Ingrid took that picture.
Really beautiful.
And then you get to connect with the meadow, and it's interesting how things just kind of.
It just grows that way. Nobody planted it. It just looks like that. It's amazing.
It is amazing. So we begin. Things go slow. I wait for the energy. We enjoy the flowers and the natural world. And I think for us on this journey, that's what pulled us in and pulled us together. So there's a beautiful picture who took that picture?
I did.
Is it Natalie took that picture? Wow.
The three graces.
And then suddenly the energy shifts, and then the process begins. And the shamanic journey begins. We pull some cards. And
Francois
one of the
comes in.
Francois. Where's his picture? I'll show you his picture in a minute. Francois was here, talking to. He was very talkative, and then we begin the process. Do some meditation, allow the energy to carry us away, and then there's a process of allowing the soul to speak without any, hopefully, minimal interference from the thinking brain, and then I think things just sort of continue to spiral deeper and deeper. So this is Ingrid's soul circuit, the thing that her soul wanted to communicate about, the reason that she came here, and what this journey was for this time around. And if you want to say something about that, you can, and you don't have to if it's too personal. But it was an astounding message that came through.
Well, it is exactly like a circuit. I was thinking of kind of a circuit board where the different energies connect, and there's parts that go in a circle and there's parts that travel all the way through. But the most important part of it is that in order to get to my purpose, there are some things I need to work through. And one of them is truth-telling, real truth-telling about one's genuine concerns, feelings, energies. And the card you see down at what would be on your right in the middle is the equivalent of the 9 of Wands. And it has to do with a woman who was put into an arranged marriage that she didn't want. But she chose to try to machinate the whole thing to get her lover to kill the person she was supposed to marry, and all these complicated ways of trying to get to her truth. Whereas if you go directly to it, then you get into the next card you'll see closer to you, which is the cup, the broken cup there. And in that's a magical cup. And if you speak 3 truths over it, it's whole. And if you speak 3 lies over it, it breaks. And right there is what I consider to be the artistic process. You have to do it as true as you possibly can, or the water of life runs right out. And so on the upper, on your left side, the bluish card is what is her name?
That's a woman of skill.
Woman
of knowledge. I apologize.
Woman of knowledge, right? Mm-hmm. And she makes the art, and there's the place where she does it. So I built all by improvisation and by accident, a little map of that process as I see it unfolding in my life going forward.
Yeah, and it comes out of the intuitive realm with no discussion, no reading, just here's 3 cards. Pick whatever object you want, do whatever you want with it, and these are the things that come out, which I love. I love that part of the process.
And there's my little workshop.
And there's your little workshop. So one of the things I forgot to say is that, once again, water in the house. Water in the house, 3 Scorpios, Francois, Natalie, and Ingrid. So, and here we are, and I'm deep, as some of you know, deep in the process of integrating into the water that is in my own chart in a profound way that I never paid attention to. So once again, the universe is loving and supportive, and
Scuba gear.
Just water flowing over the earth, and it feels so blessed to have this happen as we run up to the eclipse.
It was raining all day when we made our soul circuits.
Yes, it rained really hard one of the days. So let's see. Natalie. I want to introduce you. Francois says, me. So there he is. Here in spirit. Just a funny. I don't know. That's somebody's phone.
Oh, not mine.
Okay, that's right. So a very funny man, a very funny spirit, lovely to interact with. I almost said human, and he corrected me. No. Lovely to interact with him, and he was definitely here in a very loud way. Helped cook dinner. He was chatting and
flirting,
and he's just a blast. So Francois is Natalie's brother, who is on the other side, and they came through together, made an agreement, came here for a sole purpose, traveled together still. He passed away in February. He's just intensely missed. And he decided to, his claim is that he sent you here. I think that's a little hyperbole, but he definitely came along for the journey. And in many ways, actually, philosophically, he called Natalie in. So he arrived here in the earthly realm first, and I'm going to show you a picture of Natalie's soul circuit map, and I'm just going to hand it over to her, and she can explain the placement of the cards and what some of the things meant, and her soul circuit demonstrated itself as a circle, which I love. Mm-hmm. So I'm handing it over to you at this point.
Yeah. Circle, very feminine. I placed everything. First of all, Mary Ellen asks us to go around the house and pick things that relate to us. She doesn't tell us anything more. And so I went around the house and picked up some shells, and I'm very drawn to nature because I'm back in Canada after many years in the desert, and this nature is just calling me, just wants me to, I want to be near it, and it wants to be near me. And so flowers all around the table. Table is round, and this woman here that you see,
Queen of Battle.
The Queen of Battle, Mary Ellen says it's me. And so Francois is the card right here on your left, blue. Mm-hmm. What's it called, Mary Ellen, this card?
That is related to the Six of Cups. So it is about past life.
Past life.
Right? Relationships that come out of another time, here to repeat themselves, to regain the connection. Whatever that's, so it would be Six of Cups. In this Celtic Wisdom Tarot deck, it has to do with going deep on the inside, to pull knowledge forward, to pull what is meant to come forward by being in touch with the sacred realm and being on the other side. So it was really fascinating that he showed up in this map in this way. And he came here 2 years before Natalie did, and she traveled, circled around him, and he was calling her in, and that's the story that came out. Was very interesting. So there's another depiction of the map. So I'm going to let you tell
Yeah.
the rest of that if you want.
Okay, so one of the reasons why I came to Moon Rise Cottage was to connect with my brother, definitely, because we miss him dearly. My mother, my sister, and his wife and daughter and all his friends and relatives. We miss him dearly. So it was this is one of the reasons why I wanted to come to Moon Rise Cottage, and Mary Ellen said definitely that Francois comes through. And the other reason is because I'm in crossroads and I'm looking for the next step in my life. And so you will see here, when I walked around the house and found some flowers and everything, you can see the violet, African violet, and this is my mother, for sure. Then underneath you see the dream catcher, and it felt like it was our ancestors. And so what can I say? It really helped me to. I'm so grateful to Marianne because of her powerful shamanic strength. She connected with Francois, and he talked a lot while here, and helped me, and I hope will help my sister and my mom and everybody. My sister and my mom, because we talk about this a lot, to help us, because he left in February, not too long ago, to help us feel that he is here with us and that we can grieve in a lighter way. And I speak with him, I look at his eyes, and he answers back. I can hear him in my ears. And so, yeah.
Well, one of the things, can I jump in?
Absolutely.
Okay, so one of the things in this, it's a circular circuit. So it's a little challenging to take photos. What you're looking at is, there's the Queen of Battle up at the top of the picture. That's the point at which Natalie came through to this incarnation at the insistence of Francois, and we believe they made an agreement. People talk about twin flames and things like that, make an agreement. That's what happened. It became very, very clear. And so you can see the candle, and then there's that globe, which we can't see right, Natalie's pointing to something in the picture. But it was an intention and an agreement that was made. Francois incarnated 2 years before Natalie. And if you look at the 7 o'clock position, 8 o'clock, and a digital clock, you see a stone there with two little rocks on top of it, and that was Natalie's water element, H2O, traveling around in the universe, waiting to incarnate. And Francois' job was to come in, find the correct mother, who happened to be a nurse sign, put out the dream catcher, and we were laughing. It was kind of like, okay, Francois to Natalie, it's time. Come on, what's taking so long? Get in here. And the whole purpose was to perfect her energy. They together, I think the two of them. So we see the beautiful notion of the perfecter of energy, the world card, and the transition that happened from the void through the crystalline vibration of the universe into form. And then all the swirl of all the change and all the things that happened as they worked together, our soul partners. We're just into this incredibly beautiful story of shift and change with a purpose, coming into the moment when it's time to allow your soul purpose to speak. So that's part of what we do when people come, if that's the right thing. I always go with the flow. So then we go through a bunch of processes, and there comes a moment for releasing, and it's always magical. This is a photograph of the fire ceremony that we did, that Ingrid did for her releasing. I don't know if you want to speak about that. It was mystical in its own way.
Mm-hmm. Right.
All about releasing.
Right. Just like a lot of other ceremonies, You write down your fears and you feed them to the flames and you wish them goodbye and good riddance and thank you because they got you here. Without the fears, you wouldn't do anything. So
Yeah.
they're like little nipping at my heels and making me grow. It's like, let's go, let's walk together. And so it's time to put them behind me. I actually will read from this book about Jaguar.
So, okay, one moment. I'm just going to interject. And you know what I'll do? I'll take a photo and I'll put the Jaguar as the cover photo for the video.
Okay.
So as the cards were coming out and we were working with the spirit guides and the cards, Jaguar came out and in a very powerful way. And we sort of came to understand that was the energy of this particular retreat was the notion of Jaguar. So go ahead and read that.
So this particular deck has 3 sections. The essence tells you what it's about. The invitation tells you how to work with it. And then the medicine tells you how to work through it. And I'll just read the medicine. The medicine says, what in your life needs to be released? What have you carried around with you far too long, which is ready to be let go of once and for all? Jaguar medicine is available to heal the fear so you can allow it to go. It's time to come out of the shadows and end the shadow games that you may have unconsciously agreed to play. Call on Jaguar to unfetter you from toxic relationships and recover your natural instinct for the right people and situations.
I love that.
Yeah. So I was very much pleased when I saw that my candle turned into wings as I was burning it.
Yeah,
it's true.
Because here's the big secret. If you find me on YouTube, I'm Primary Feathers. And my entire journey has been about learning how to fly. Or relearning how to fly. So the image of feathers and wings comes up again and again and again in my journey.
So magical, wasn't it? I mean, we were all in awe, like, oh my God, look what's happening.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
And the angelic realm is always with us and always whispering in our ear. All we have to do is listen.
And I'm going to put a link below the video because Primary Feathers is an amazing artist and illustrator. Please go and look at the work that this Earth Angel, what comes out of her blows my mind. Let's see, Miss Natalie.
And Natalie
we did
has
your
beautiful
fire.
things come out of Natalie too.
Holy, yeah. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
So Natalie had her own sort of mystical. When the came time for the fire ceremony, what was burning inside the urn kind of disappeared. And the fire kept going and going and going. And eventually we thought, oh my God, it has cracked the slate that it's sitting. We better carry this thing outside, put it down. So we walked out to what I call the launch pad. We put it down there. And it just, just kept on burning and burning and burning, even when it seemed like there was nothing there. So I'm going to hand it off to you, Natalie, if you have anything to say. And if not, we'll keep going.
I think this was really powerful for me, the letting go of the fears. We write down on papers a lot of fears we have, and we offer it to the flame, and Mary Ellen accompanies us. And, by the way, every time we do something, Ingrid does something, I'm here, and we're together. And then when I do something, Ingrid is with me and with Mary Ellen. So it's really, the three of us are always,
dancing.
The triad.
Yeah, the triad is very powerful.
Okay, Francois is now saying, really? I'm insulted. He's very funny, by the way, you guys. So he's like, don't forget, you always forget about me just because you can't see me.
Oh, Francois.
Oh, honey, he's teasing us. It's all right.
He's teasing.
Yeah.
He can handle it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
So,
he's fine.
Well, he's fine.
He's fine. I mean, he's not, I'm making a joke.
Okay.
He's making a joke. I'm saying it.
I'm not forgetting you, Francois. Never. Yeah, I think that's what I have to say about that.
Okay. then the language changes through the process. The language changes, and we begin to shepherd the emergence of what is attempting to be seen. The soul speaking its truth without human language. And it's a lot of going inward and a process of covering the face, asking people to go inward in a way that deepens the process. I'm going to let you talk about that, what the experience is, to draw the soul forward.
Yeah, when you cover your face, your real form emerges, because we've walked around with this face in some form or another all our lives, even if it changes some or can be altered. It's a covering. The covering of the face allowed what was behind it to be more evident. And, all of our lives, and I'm going to speak for myself, but I think I'm not alone, we are, from the first breath, conditioned to fit in and to be a particular kind of person in a particular role. And behind that mask is the real person. And the whole process of being here and everything that we do to work and understand ourselves is about what's behind the mask. And that is something that comes out when you cover what people normally see every day, their understanding of you and their expectations. And behind that comes out your power.
Yeah, and what I love, so here's the finished mask. There's a lot to this process. And we're really, some great part of this that maybe we take for granted a little bit because we're incarnated as the sacred feminine. It's the emergence of feminine power expressed through the vibration of Scorpio. And look at that. Damn. So, you want to speak to that?
Yeah,
or
little
you want to just
mild-mannered me.
Mild-mannered Scorpio.
Mild-mannered me.
Yeah.
And I burnt my fingers and I cut them, and it was so great. It was so much fun.
Those eyes, gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They.
That's some voodoo shit right there. I love it.
So the those little stripes on the side. There was a zebra swallowtail outside that I saw the day before, and of course the feathers have to do with flight and lifting off, and the rest of it is sort of subverbal.
It's very
Although the
tribal.
pearl in the mouth is about the message that comes through, and it can be. I write as well as illustrate, and so there's different modes of getting the truth through the soul.
Yeah, love it. So little moments like this when we're just sort of busy being busy bees, moving through the process, and we didn't even realize, and then we look and we say, look what the universe is doing. Look at the visualization. Understand the process through what you're being shown visually. So many layered, really beautiful experience. I don't know, Natalie, if you want to talk about the process of being in the mask.
Yeah, for me first, when I because I watched Ingrid, it was so amazing to me how you can't express anything in your face when you have a mask, but just you saw her with the chair behind and the head turned beside it. It's very theatrical to me, and it for me, I told her it's like Elizabeth I. It's because of the chair, the not
Scroll work.
Yes, the scroll work. It really was it looked very regal, and at the same time it's a little scary to watch. But anyway, and for myself, when Mary Ellen put the strips of plaster on my face, and she says, just concentrate on your soul. And That's amazing to me. And then when the mask comes off and then you start to not embellish but decorate it, or you learn a lot of things about yourself, I guess. And for me, it was this is my mask.
Damn.
So
Both of these women are terrifying, just so you know.
La, 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 la.
Yeah.
they look very soft, but
yes, but true. And I think that's part of the process.
The
most
power of
especially,
beauty.
It's the power. It's the power of the sacred feminine.
Yeah.
And it is omnipotent and immense. And I think one of the things I love about this is to be a shamanic guide to engender this process to come forward, so that the shock of seeing yourself, it does create itself, doesn't it? When you put the mask on, and it's just okay. Now go straight into your soul, allow it to speak.
Yeah,
and this is what
it does
comes
itself.
out.
It's really a shock, actually, to see it afterwards. So if I can explain my I don't know, decorations. As you can see, the spikes on the eye, my right eye. For me, it's like they are like antennas coming from. I don't know why I didn't want to put anything on the third eye, because I think of the. What can I say?
Well, for you, the focus is your vision. Clearly, it's about
vision.
The vision,
yeah, right.
The vision that you have.
But the third eye, the thing on the third eye for me is indie. So
it doesn't relate.
I relate. I will leave it to them for them, and so that's why I wanted to put it on the eye. And then these little spikes that are coming out are like antennas for me. And then I'm really attracted to colors, to the mix of colors. So the little beads on the left eye, it's just aesthetic, I don't know. But the thing in the mouth is a feather. And I really knew what I was doing when I put something in the mouth, because Mary Ellen, when she put the strips on her face, she says, do you want your mouth covered or do you want it open? And for me, I want it open, because I have things to say. I want it's coming through my mouth. And so the feather, there was something magical about having the feather in the mouth.
It's the spirit breath. That's my interpretation. So the cards you're seeing in this photograph are the cards that came out for Natalie about the journey she was having together with her brother, whose job it was to come here first and leave here first and touch death and be a disembodied spirit to go into the void, communicate back into this realm. And we see the full moon, which just passed, and the new moon eclipse is coming. And so they are continuing to engage in an amazing process. And we spent a lot of time, Francois spoke a lot about that, and just wanted to assure you, I think. Yeah?
I feel that's for sure. That's for sure.
That this process, whatever it is they are doing together as soul entities, that work continues. Both sides of the veil. And that message has been coming through me a lot this year. It's happening more and more. I find it really exciting. So thank you both for coming here, because it was wonderful to have the experience working together with an embodied spirit and a disembodied spirit, one on each side of the veil, for whatever the sacred work is that you're doing. So incredible works of art came forward. It was really wonderful way to end the session, to just celebrate these incredible masks that came out, and the power of the sacred that comes through. So we are wrapping it up today. There's a little picture of what's going on out in the meadow. It's a beautiful sunny day. We spent a lot of time out there, and I'm going to wrap it up here unless there's anything else either one of you want to interject.
Thank you, Mary Ellen.
Yeah.
And thank you, Francois. And thank you, Nathalie.
Absolutely. Just a lot of gratitude.
And thanks, Mom.
Yeah. So it's a little challenging because we bonded so deeply, and now we all have to drive away in different directions.
That's okay. Thank you, Mary Ellen.
So-
Thank you, Ingrid. And thank you, Francois, my
And
beautiful
Francois.
brother.
Mm.
And I just want to say that I came here to help me and to help my family to understand that the people on the other side are here with us. Thank you, Marilyn and Ingrid, from my heart.
And thank you, because every time someone comes here, it enriches my life and helps me to proceed with my own unfolding. So it's always an incredible gift. Yeah. So thanks, everyone. Check out the links below the video for Ingrid's artwork. More things about Moon Rise Cottage, link to my website. If you are interested in coming here to Moon Rise Cottage, definitely go to the website, send me a message, and we'll arrange it. Thanks. I'll look forward to getting the readings out right after the eclipse. I'm waiting because I'm going to be deep into my own process now. What's today, the 27th? For the next week or so until the eclipse comes. So I'm very grateful to these fabulous women and beautiful Francois for preparing me for my own journey inward. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, everyone.
23 minutes.
It's not bad.